Look at the first row and listen and repeat. K, k. Not k, 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 k. Ra, 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 ra. Oh, you did much better than me. Kra, kra.
I'd been teaching Arabic and Farsi speakers for a long time, and I'd been very concerned about the fact that their ability in spoken English was so much better than their ability in reading and writing. They could often read and write perfectly well, but they couldn't read and write as fast as students from European language cultures. And this was hampering their progress. This was noticeable in multilingual classes where they were working with, say, German or French speakers, and although their oral ability was the same, as soon as they had to read something, they slowed right down. And this is true right across the spectrum. This is why we decided to do it. We wanted to find a way not to teach them to read from scratch, because they knew that, but to make them be able to read at the same speed as people who'd always spoken a European Romance language. Fast track to reading isn't a new method as such. It's a phonic method, and it's a development of previous phonic methods. The new part of fast track to reading is the concept that it's designed for teaching students to read rapidly and effectively by teaching them to decode phonics without necessarily learning meaning. The fact that they're not learning meaning is the unique point of fast track.
Look at the first row and listen and repeat. K, k. Not k, 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 k. Ra, 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 ra. Oh, you did much better than me. Kra, kra, t, t, ra, ra, tra, 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 tra. Okay. Now look. Ash, ash. Crash. Crash. Let's try again. Crash. Crash. Tap. Rap. Rap. Trap.
Rust.
Rust. Again together.
Rust.
Crust. Trust. Okay. Let's try it. Let's try just one student. Okay.
Trust. Crust.
Crust. Perfect.
Crash.
Crash. Perfect. Thank you. Right. Now, look at this next one here, where it says quick, crash, 1, and read it silently. Don't speak. Just read 1 to 12 silently. Okay? Now I want you to read and listen.
1. Crack. 2. Crash. 3. Cream. 4. Creep. 5. Crest. 6. Crick. 7. Cross. 8. Crop. 9. Crust. 10. Crutch. 11. Crush. 12. Credit.
Right. So we've listened. We've read it. We've listened, and now listen and repeat after me. Okay. 1. Crack.
Crack.
2. Crash.
Crash.
3. Cream.
Cream.
4. Creep.
Creep.
Crest.
Crust.
Try again. Crust.
Crust. Crust.
Not crust. Crust.
Crust.
Crest.
Crust. Crust.
Crest.
Crest. Okay. Crick.
Crick.
Cross.
Cross.
Crop.
Crop.
Crust.
Crust.
Crutch.
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 Crush.
Crush.
Credit.
Credit.
Okay. Now we'll try just one of you. I say a number, okay? So I say 2, and you say
Crash.
crash. Well, we'll do that together, I think, actually. 2,
Crash.
1,
Crack.
7,
Cross.
8,
Croc.
5,
Cross.
5,
Crest.
crest,
Crest.
12,
Credit.
credit, 11,
Crash.
10,
Crotch.
Crutch.
9.
Cross.
Crash.
Let's do this together. Crust,
Crash.
crutch,
Crutch.
crush.
Crush.
Okay.
Yes.
Crutch,
Crush.
crush,
Crush.
crust.
Crust.
Okay. 7,
Cross.
8,
Crop.
crop. Okay. 6,
Crick.
1,
Crack.
crick crack,
Crick. Crack.
crack crick.
Crack. Crick.
Good. At the lower levels, students won't understand all the words. The words are there to teach phonics. When you teach English children, you can accept that they already know many of the words in early readers. Words which are low frequency, like pail or bucket or crown. And English children, when they're learning to read, they know the words before they learn the phonic representation. When we're teaching foreign adults, non-native speaker adults to read, the number of words we might need to use to explain a phonic concept might be 50 or 60 words in one lesson. If you try to explain the meaning of 50 or 60 words, it would take you hours and it would slow down progress, and they couldn't focus on the important thing, phonics. But don't forget, most of these students will not be beginners. Most of these students will be students who've already studied English but need to learn to read much more quickly than they can already. When we initially worked on the programme, we were working on phonics, but there is also a considerable element on sight reading, because when we get to the most common words in English, words like you, there, they don't necessarily follow standard rules and patterns, and we don't learn to read a, n, d, and. We just see and we read it automatically. So students need to learn to sight read the most frequent words, and that element is built in and is recycled throughout the course.
Let's look at the second set of words, beginning with tram. So repeat after me the words. 1. Tram.
Tram.
2. Trap.
Trap.
3. Track.
Track.
4. Trail.
Trail.
5. Train.
Train.
6. Trash.
Trash.
7. Tray.
Tray.
8. Trek.
Track.
9. Tree.
Tree.
10. Treat.
Treat.
11. Trick.
Trick.
12. Trip.
Trip.
13. Trot.
Trot.
14. Troop.
Troop.
15. Truck.
Truck.
16. Trust.
Trust.
17. Travel.
Travel.
Okay, now I'm going to give you a number and I want you to say the word all together. 1.
Tram.
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 2.
Trap.
3.
Track.
9.
Tree.
10.
Treat.
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 9.
Treat.
Tree. 10.
Treat.
13.
Trot. Trot.
14.
Tro.
Excellent. 8.
Trick.
15.
Track.
Good. 8. Trek.
Trick.
15.
Track.
Truck. 4.
Train.
5.
Train.
7.
Try.
Tray.
Tray.
4.
Train.
5.
Train.
7.
Try.
Tray.
Tray.
Okay. Oh, one more. 16.
Trust. Trust.
Yes. Okay, now we're going to listen to the CD. And when you hear the word, you put the number of that word into the box. You can see the first one is done for you. Number 1 is cross. So listen for the word and put the number in the correct box.
Number from 1 to 7.
1,
cross,
2,
cream,
3,
crutch,
4,
crick,
5,
crust,
6,
crash,
7,
credit,
Now let's check. I'm going to say the number.
Yeah.
You tell me the word.
Okay.
Well, we know. Number 1,
Cross.
number 2,
Cream.
3,
Crash.
crutch,
Crash.
4,
Crick.
5,
Crash.
6,
Crash.
and 7.
Credit.
Okay, now we're going to do the same thing again with the second set of words. Okay?
2,
troop,
3,
trek,
4,
tree,
5,
trap,
6,
truck,
7,
trip,
Let's check that. Number 1,
Trot.
2,
Trot.
troop,
True.
3,
trick,
4,
Tree.
5,
trip,
Trip. Trap.
trap,
Trap.
6,
Trick.
truck,
truck,
Truck.
7.
trip,
Trip.
Okay, so 6, truck, repeat, truck,
truck,
7,
trip,
trip.
Trip.
When school inspectors work on the testing of native speaker children, they use nonsense words like gad, ged, deg to test that children have got the phonic concept of g, a, d or whatever. So it is extremely useful to check that they are reading phonics at speed. It's not a waste of time because they're working on sound and the relationship of letters to sounds rather than learning the meaning of hundreds of nouns or hundreds of verbs. Well, there are all sorts of suggestions in the teacher's book, but for most of the course, these activities would not be appropriate. There are pair work activities, and students check and work with each other in pairs quite a lot, but when we get to something like, what is the difference in sound between ship and sheep, you can't say to students, discuss it in pairs, because there's nothing to discuss, it's a fact. And most of these things are facts. The learners accept that, actually. it's not the only thing they're doing in an English course. They're doing many other things as well, and this is only an element. And this element is not one where you can role play or discuss. The next exercise is a minimal pairs exercise, which is a traditional exercise where students have to distinguish between two very similar sounds, such as ship and sheep. This is surprisingly hard to do, but you can't actually say something until you can hear the difference for yourself. Okay, so look at exercise 3, and you know what we do here. You have to listen to two words and tick the one that you hear. Okay, and at the end we're going to check this in pairs. Exercise 3. Listen and tick.
wrap, tree, truck, tick, trick, train, trash, rush, crash, rack, cross, crash, cram, crush.
Okay, so I would like you to work with a partner, work in pairs, and compare, see if you agree. And then we can see who is correct and who is not. Okay. I have to look myself. Oh, that's a very difficult one. Crutch, crutch, and crush. That's yeah? You got all of them right?
Yes.
Fantastic. And you, the same. And you good? Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, there's one I noticed. So I'll just go through and check with you, and perhaps we'll say the words to check they're right. First one was wrap.
Rap.
Yeah. Repeat after me. Wrap.
Rap.
Tree.
Tree.
Not T. Truck.
Truck.
Pick.
Tick.
Trick.
Trick.
Train.
Train.
Trash.
Trash.
Rush.
Rush.
Crash.
Crush.
Rack.
Rack.
Cross.
Cross.
Crash.
Crush.
Cram.
Cram.
And the difficult one. Crush.
Crush.
And let's just try this one again. Shh. Crush.
Crush.
Crutch.
Crush.
Good. Crush. Crutch.
Crush.
Crutch. Good. Okay. So the next bit is very simple. You trace the word first, and then you write the word in the space. Write in your style. Okay, so exercise 4, trace and write. Remember trace, I'll just go over this. Here is the word. And when you trace it, okay, so trace and write. Very good, you've done it quickly. Yeah. Everyone in the room has better writing than me.
Oh.
It all looks much nicer than the board.
No way.
Yes, it is. It's very good. Okay, and then look at exercise 5 and write the word under the picture. You've done that already. You were so fast. You did that quickly. Yeah. The words are there, but they're not in the right places. That's right. So now we label the pictures. Oh no, for the picture. Just to remind you, the words The words are with the wrong pitches.
Yeah.
So you put them with the correct pitches. Yeah. I can see the difficult one. The difficult one. Tram. Tram. In England, you don't see trams.
No.
Do you have trams?
No, but Dubai and tram.
Dubai has trams. Yeah.
Tram or
Dubai has a
train.
monorail.
Yeah.
Monorail, I think. Yeah. A monorail is a train with one track.
Yeah.
Train has two tracks. A monorail has
One.
one track. A tram is like a train, but it's in the street.
Yeah.
And you see them in Paris. in
Egyptian.
In
Egypt.
Cairo. Yeah.
Cairo has
Yeah.
trams.
Yes.
Okay.
India.
In India.
India has trams.
Yes.
Anywhere else? India, Cairo.
Dubai.
Dubai has monorail. I think monorail. I think it's up
Yeah.
above the street.
The up.
Up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometime up, sometime underground.
Sometimes underground. So that's a subway train.
Subway.
A subway train. Okay. Onomatopoeic words. Yes, toot, zoom, whoosh, boo, hoot, moo. Actually, these really only appear in one unit, but there's nothing wrong with reading words like this. Students read them in comic books, and obviously they teach that difficult oo sound, or practice that difficult oo sound, and they do it in a fun way. We find students enjoy doing words like whoosh and boo, and so on. Exercise 6 is an exercise on keywords. And keywords are the 200 or 300 most common words in English. And these words are so frequent that you have to be able to recognise them instantly without spelling them out. For example, we see and so often that we don't think a, n, d, and. We just see it and say and. And some of these words have unusual spellings like you. You can't go ya, o, you. It doesn't help. You have to just see you and recognise it immediately. So these are sight words, and they appear not in every unit, but in every 4th or 5th unit for students to practice reading them at speed. Okay, in this exercise, I'm going to put you into pairs, and each student is going to read one line as fast as they can, and then the other student will read the next line as fast as they can. So A, B, A, B, A, B. A reads the first line. You ready?
Yes.
This can be as noisy as you like. Don't whisper. Say them loudly and fast. Okay? Off you go. Together. No. Oh, sorry. Start with the first row. Start with the first row. So A does a and B does did. Okay? So we'll start again. Start from the first row.
Did, do, inch, it, get, go, got, had, him.
It just
Did do, done, get, got, much, he, him.
No, not him. On, read, roam, say, see, seen, she, shop, so. Be,
on, that,
On, read, wrong, say,
do,
she,
use, we,
eat, some, got, will get, yes, you, got, had, him.
Excellent.
yes, you,
Yeah, jump in.
Get,
But
go,
can
did, do, don't, eat, get, go, got, had, him.
Good. Okay, when you've finished, go back and then B reads the first line and A reads the second line. Okay?
am, an, at, been, bit, but, can, did.
Did, do, did, ate, get, go, got, had, he, him.
If, and, it, just, let, lot, may, mean, much, must.
No, not, on, went, wrong, say, see, son, she, shop, so.
Soon, then, that, them, this, to, up, us, we win.
Which, with, want, yes, you.
Okay, excellent, thank you. Someone have a look at that. Read. Reading. This is quite difficult for some of us because there is an English town called Reading, which is the wrong pronunciation. It should be reading. Okay, reading. Okay, that's fine.
There's a very comprehensive teacher's book which was written by Roger Scott, and Roger was very aware of the fact that there are different kinds of students doing this material. There are students who are approaching these things for the first time, and also students who've been learning English perhaps for several years but want to speed up their reading and decoding. And Roger has introduced all sorts of activities in the teacher's book which do enable them to deduce patterns. Actually, most students will deduce patterns from the basic work anyway, but Roger has comprehensive notes on higher level students doing this material.
The next exercise, I'd like you to repeat after me. So this time we're going to practice putting the words together. We'll begin. A train.
A train.
A railway train.
A railway train.
Track.
Track.
On a track.
On a track.
A railway train on a track.
A railway train on a track.
Trash.
Trash.
A trash can.
A trash can.
A crack.
A crack.
A crack in a trash can.
A crack in a trash can.
Crash.
Crash.
Truck.
Truck.
A truck crash.
A truck crash.
Into a tree.
Into a tree.
A truck crash into a tree.
A truck crash into a tree.
Into a tree.
Into a tree.
Credit card.
Credit card.
Trust a credit card.
Trust a credit card.
Can we trust a credit card?
Can we trust a credit card?
A tram.
A tram.
A tram at a crossroads.
A tram at a crossroads.
A tram on tracks at a crossroads.
A tram on the tracks at a crossroads.
Let's try that one again. A tram.
A tram.
A tram at a crossroads.
A tram at a crossroads.
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 A tram on tracks at a crossroads.
A tram on the tracks at a crossroads.
A tray.
A tray.
A tray of toast and jam and coffee and cream in a cup.
A tray of toast and jam and coffee and cream in a cup.
Oh, very nice. Let's do that one again. Listen to me. A tray of toast and jam and coffee and cream in a cup. A tray of toast and jam and coffee and cream in a cup. Now all together, the last bit again. The big sentence. Listen to me. A tray of toast and jam and coffee and cream in a cup.
A tray of toast and jam and coffee and cream in a cup.
Good. Thank you.
I think every teacher has their own idea of what they're going to do. I think most non-native speaker teachers would prefer to use the CD as the basic pattern. I think also that most teachers will then go in when there's a problem and correct it or work on it live in class. One of the advantages that a CD always has is that as teachers we're often too kind and we tend to slow things up unnaturally, and a CD will help you to maintain pace and to keep the language at a natural speed. The order was worked on very carefully. We go from simple vowel sounds and simple consonant sounds to longer vowel sounds, consonant clusters and so on. And there was a lot of thought put into it. Obviously with higher level students you could change things if you wish to, but because there is so much recycling and because words reappear from unit to unit, the best way to use it is in the order in which it's written. No, if the teacher feels happy skipping them, that's fine. I would say it was worth doing them very, very quickly, dipping into each unit and checking that students knew the sounds and explaining how the material worked, and then getting them perhaps to do it for self-study, to go over those things very quickly for self-study, and then move back to a normal pace when you get to... Actually, 15 is a very good point. Well, I think the teachers using this could be British, American, Australian, Indian, Pakistani, Arabic, Farsi. There will be a great range of accents among the teachers. We couldn't produce 6 different CDs, and we're not looking at sentences or dialogue, we're looking at isolated sounds. We've chosen to do it in British English. I suspect that 99% of students will still be recognisably their own nationality at the end of the course. They won't end up speaking British English or with British English accents. For an American teacher, they'll be using their own accent, they'll be using the CD. It will improve the range of accents the students are exposed to. If there was enough demand, we could do an American CD, but I don't think it's worth it. Well, when we did the original book many years ago, long before Fast Track, we did address writing. We felt that nowadays more and more students would be using keyboards for input, and that though they may need to write individual words, they would probably use print script rather than cursive script, and we didn't include writing as an element. We included handwriting pattern paper in the book. I would suggest that many students would benefit by doing left to right patterning at the start of the lesson to get them thinking from left to right. But on the whole, writing is another subject. We have actually been discussing writing, and if there is enough interest from teachers, we could add a fast track to writing as well. But that's for the future. Fast track consists of 4 components. First, there's the student book, which also contains CDs for self-study for the students. The teacher's book has very detailed teaching notes on each of the units, and also contains a CDR with flashcards which the teacher can use in class. The last component is online on the Garnet Education site, where there are notes on teaching Arabic speakers using Fast Track, which were written by Anna Phillips and specifically relate each unit to the particular problems of Arabic speakers.